to Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench, which is right below in memory of our friends. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunt Hangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunt Hangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, even though you're already approved to come in, but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box right over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do this during the live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Subscribe, share the videos, comments on the videos also help the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunt Hangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. I mean, by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account. So I believe in it. I see the value in it. And hopefully you will join us and partner up with me to support this channel. Now, you also can use the super chat. If you don't want to do the monthly subscription, you can do the super chat, which is right below the chat box over here. Or if you're watching this as a replay, you hit the three dots and hit the super thanks. Those are another way to donate to the show. And hopefully you see the value in it and you will donate accordingly. Now, your contributions, your donations, they help offset some of the expenses of running Stunt Hangar. And with your support, we need it. Now, with your support, you also get access to member-only videos. Not all the videos that Sparky and I do are uploaded for public. Some of them are members only. So doing the memberships, not just the super chat or the super thanks, but the membership, you get access to those videos. Okay. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. So if you have any questions or comments, something you want us to cover, please go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. Let me repeat that. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you would locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. The Junar was orange back then, and it's been repainted white with some orange trim. But if you go there and comment on a video or comment or have a question, I'll get notified because that's my channel, where this channel that I'm hosting the show on is not my channel. So I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't do things or say things you wouldn't do around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to, actually, I already posted the link. That's why Gary Sinclair is already here in the gallery with me. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you for coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
You didn't have to hit refresh too much tonight, right?
No, I just can't get you on my phone so I can like you.
Oh, give me
You know,
this.
it
Yeah.
hasn't come up yet.
Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be there shortly. Um,
I would think so.
all right. Great. So
I even go to Stunt Hangar and see if you're there yet. No, it's just Sparky there.
let me see here. I'm streaming on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't get you on here.
Huh. Yeah. I'm
Like
on
a
the Stunt Hangar channel.
like a Stunt Hangar, and then it
Yeah.
might be coming in now.
All right. Good.
Let's see. No, that's the Viper.
How about
Yeah.
click on the live? Maybe it's the live under the
Well,
live.
yeah. I even went to Stunt Hangar to
Right now we have eight concurrent.
there you are. You finally come in this other way.
Oh, good. So
All
we
right.
have eight concurrent viewers and 5 likes. And Gary Sinclair is going to make it 6 likes pretty soon.
Mhm.
And now we have Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. He says, "Yo." And we got Marcel Legrand. He says, "Hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School." Thank you so much, Marcel. I appreciate that. And I'm looking for where's Tom Ramel? He's usually in there pretty quick. And Gary Sinclair, I just see your like. Now we have 6 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button or smashed it, please do that. That helps the analytics of the show, helps it so that it becomes a recommended view when you go to your home feed on YouTube. That's the purpose of hitting the likes, and it becomes a recommended view for other people too. So, um, anyways, what you been up to, Gary?
I'm just taking care of stuff,
All right.
home stuff, and
Well, I'm happy to report that my vertigo seems to have dissipated uh,
good.
immensely. I mean, maybe just a little touch of it there, but nothing like before. So I'm uh, I'm going to meet a couple guys this Wednesday out at our flying field. If you happen to be in Escondido or Southern California, come on out Wednesday at the KIT, as KIT, Kit Carson Park, and I fly near the youth youth softball fields. And come on out and check us out. I'm right across from San Pasqual High School. So, but I'm flying in the park. The park is right across. There's a Bear Valley Road which separates the park from the rest of the high school and stuff. So that's where I'll be this Wednesday, and I might fly the SV11. Um, I've been really reluctant. I have flown because I've had this vertigo for over a month, and I have flown. I flew a trainer last time, and I didn't want to do anything over my head though. So I'm feeling pretty good. But unfortunately, I was planning on going to the Southwest Regionals in Tucson, Arizona, but I'm not going to go. I need to call John Callentine and let him know that I'm not going to go. I haven't had a chance to fly, and I really don't know. I haven't done a pattern, and I don't know if I can. I assume I can. I just don't. I'm not sure. I have to. And the contest is this weekend, so
Um,
maybe I'll make intentions to go to the VSC since I really do need to go to Arizona. Anyways, I have an aunt that I want to visit in Glendale, so I was hoping to go to the contest, and maybe I'll do it in VSC. VSC is in March. That's Vintage Stunt Championships. That's at the Christopher Columbus Park, and I think the area is called Silver Bell, but it's Tucson, and I don't know the dates. I know it's in March. Let me see here. I might be able to pull that up. Let me see here.
how far is it the one he's going to go to? Come up this
Oh,
weekend.
it'd be like, well, for me, it's about a 10-hour drive.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, just it is what it is. I have to stop sometimes. So um and get gas and eat and all that kind of stuff. So it takes a little bit longer. If I just drove straight without stopping, I think it would take 8 hours, I think.
Is that east from you?
Yes.
East.
Yeah, East. Absolutely. And it's a good contest. And the Vintage Stunt Championship is probably one of the biggest contests. I think it's bigger than any other contest in California. I mean, I know in its heyday, it was probably the second largest contest in its heyday. I mean, it was huge. I came in late. Of course, people have been passing away and unable to do things, because of their health decline, just getting old. So the numbers
Yeah.
are declining.
Yeah. We lost a flyer too.
I'm sorry to hear
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven, how you doing?
I'm all right, guys. How are you all this evening?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good. So
Who
what's
who
been
who,
happening?
who did we lose?
I was a flyer probably in near
Yeah.
Garrett Claire, and you probably
Mhm.
don't know who he is. Uh,
West Virginia. He lived in West Virginia. Across the
I
river
see.
from
so how far do you live from
It's too bad.
Ed Waskett? Ed Waskey. He lives in West Virginia too.
I suppose it's 5 or 6 hours probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know you was in
It'd
West
probably
Virginia.
be the same distance from me to Brodak as it'd be from him here to him, I think.
Okay.
Only
Interesting.
going more east going to him.
Interesting. Hey, Mark Gerber, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Charles.
Mark,
Hey, Steven, what you been up to, Steven?
Not too much, just a little bit of flying over the weekend, and me and John's.
Uh-oh,
uh-oh.
he's gone.
Oof.
He's coming back. He's making his way back in here.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So he's
Did
flying
you,
with John Wright?
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna go flying on Wednesday, and I went out Saturday and Sunday by myself with the combat guys, and then on Thursday and Friday of last week, Mr. Wright and I went on Thursday, and then on Friday we all, the whole clan goes on Friday morning. So, but we're gonna try to hit Wednesday because it's supposed to rain towards the end of the week, so we might not get any more opportunities. Wednesday might be the last opportunity for a while.
Yeah, that's what I texted the guys that I fly with. I told them the same thing. The forecast is rain Friday, so we normally meet on Friday. So we're
Right,
gonna meet Wednesday. I think I don't know, 3 or 4 of us should meet Wednesday, uh,
right.
and get some flying in before it rains.
That's right. That's how we do it.
Now, do you ever go out there by yourself? Do you have a stooge?
I haven't gone out there by myself since I've had my ankle regrowed. I have a couple times, but the only plane that I have right now to put on the Stooge is my little Ringmaster. And my Ringmaster, unfortunately, it has real hard Vico tires. They're like pizza cutters or whatever the little
Oh,
Vico
I
bullet
remember
wheels.
those. Yeah.
And so when you set it up on the concrete on the Stooge, and then by the time you get to the handle and pick up the handle and you reach down to pick up the Stooge release, the airplane's looking at you because the wheels don't, you know what I mean? It vibrates over. It doesn't work unless you take it on the grass. It works on the grass, but Whittier, the grass is kind of long over there. You know what I mean? It's kind of thick. So I haven't tried to set it up on the carrier deck with the Stooge in the grass and do it that way. It'll probably work that way, but I haven't tried that yet.
Okay. I was just curious. By the way,
Yeah,
your audio comes across poorly.
does it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know. You might need to turn off your camera when you're
Maybe.
talking,
Uh-huh.
and then that might help your bandwidth.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant to call you and talk to you about that. And because you and John last Friday, you and John both were having John was having bandwidth issues or something, and so when you guys were talking about the vent of the tank,
Yeah.
it was it was really hard. And I couldn't even correct anything that was incorrect because I wasn't sure if I heard either you or John correctly. Um, so maybe you might need to turn off the camera just to improve the audio.
I see.
Yeah. Let me see here. So Mark Gerber, what you been up to?
I did some flying today.
Oh, great. Was Keith Trossel there?
No, I just did here in Fort Collins.
So what did you fly?
A little fun plane.
Let me see this little fun plane. Oh, that looks like fun. Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that's a Sterling Wildcat that I built last year.
Is that a half A I'm looking at?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
So are you able to do the pattern with that? What can you do with that airplane?
Fly circles really well.
It flies circles really well. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. That's funny. That's funny.
No, I flew it first at the Nats. Joe Gilbert helped me. And we
Oh, wow.
crashed it and split the fuselage in half. And we super glued that back together. And then I got a good flight out of it, but it was going so fast. I was getting so dizzy. It's got a Cox Golden Bee in it. It's got a pretty big tank.
Huh.
And
How long are the lines?
about 35 feet.
Oh, perfect. That sucker's
Right.
that's just right.
You screw yourself into the ground, though.
That's right.
So anyway, I brought it home, and Joe and I talked about how to make it fly better, and he suggested putting some more nose weight on it. So I got a heavier spinner, and I got a smaller prop so it wouldn't go so fast. And then I flew it today for the first time, just for fun. And so it flies a lot better now. But
Oh,
you
good.
can see the weather's really great, and the grass is practically non-existent there.
Yeah. Yeah, the grass is like it's dormant right now.
So I'm going to go back out tomorrow with my Ryan and ring that out, get ready for VSC. I think we got about 3 or 4 good days this week, and then it's going to go back to winter again.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to get it. You got to get in there.
It was up in the 60s today. Like, it's calm and just beautiful weather for flying.
Oh, very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Mhm.
Have you been doing any work on your new Bearcat?
Yeah, I've been working on beveling the flaps, but because of my shoulder injury, it's hard to sand the repetitive motion, back and forth. So I went out today and I bought an orbital sander. I'm going to try to use that to bevel them. So
So how
I'll
do
let
you
you-
how do you make sure that you get the bevel where the angles are the same? How do you do that?
well, you use a method that, oh, I've seen it many times
The push rods with
with the rods. Yeah. You
rods. Okay.
put it on a board with sandpaper on it so the flap won't slide. And then you put the rods on each side. The 1/4-inch rod goes on the front. And then the first time you bevel it, you go to 3/16 on the back end. And the next time you bevel it, you go to 1/8 on the back end. And that'll get you a 1/8 inch trailing edge. And it'll preserve the 1/4-inch leading edge. But like I said, it's a lot of work to do all that back and forth, back and forth. So I'll let you know how the orbital sander works out. But I tried it out this afternoon a little bit, and it seemed to work out pretty good. So
All right. Very cool. Very, very cool. So I think the next in here was hey, Brandon and Angstrom. How you guys doing?
Hey, how we doing, everybody?
Hey, I'm doing much
Good.
better. I think my vertigo is gone, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, glad to hear that. We over the weekend, yeah, we've had some snow and really frigid temperatures for the last couple of weeks. But over the weekend, we got a 60-degree day. So I got out a couple of years ago. The kids won a plane at the donation table from the Nats at the beginner event. So we got out a Magician for the
Oh,
first
really? That's
time.
one of my favorite planes when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, so it was exciting because I've had my eye on this plane for sort of like when I step up and kind of get, most of the, at least the beginner pattern done. So I've been flying a lightning streak, have been able to get pretty much the beginner pattern done with that. So we got the Magician out purely just to do the logistics on it, get, lap speed and get it, tuned up. So it flew pretty well, but I mean, all we did was inside loops and got it inverted. And just got some lap speed on it. So I'm excited. It'll be my spring plane to hopefully get into a little bit. And then our plans go down to Joe Knoll and fly down there for the competition in South Carolina in May. So we're pretty excited about that.
Very cool. That's one plane I got to build just for the nostalgia of building a plane I flew when I was a kid. I mean, my nostalgia planes for me are the Nobler as the first plane I ever saw fly, and then I had the best flying with my Magician. Do you happen to have your Magician handy?
Yeah, I can grab it. It's a couple steps over this way. Hold on.
All right, thank you. Hey, Angstrom, how's it going?
Good. I'm just trying to get the monocoat off of this.
Monocoat off of it?
Yeah, we're working on our SV11, and what we did is we got the ARF version of some wings for it. But as you know, with the builder of model rules for Nats and stuff, you got to do all the covering. So we're taking the wings and uncovering them and then covering them again.
Right.
And I don't know is Dennis on here yet? Dennis, you on?
No. Not yet. Not yet.
You know what we'll do? We'll save it. We've picked the color for the monocoating on the wings, but I'll save that for Dennis because he kind of inspired it. So when he gets on, I'll show you that.
You need to also change the control. You need to install the control system too.
Yep. We took care of that. You brought that up last time. I'm glad you did because I did go to the rule books after that to make sure. So yeah, we're good on that one. We got that one taken care of.
Awesome. So that's a pretty Magician.
Yeah. So again, this was donated as part of the beginner table, and I've since electrified it. Let's see. I got a Aerowind 2820 07 motor. We ran it with a 4S battery, and it like I said, we didn't really do a ton with it, but we got in the air, and I'm excited. I'm excited to have something that's flapped a little bigger than my lightning streak. So
well, you did the option because the flaps are optional, so you did that. I did that too. I thought, as a kid, I go, I want to have flaps. If it's optional, I'll do that option. Because Lynn Burrell said they fly good without even having the flaps. He said they fly really good without flaps. So I never flown one like that without flaps though.
Yeah. So, like I said, it was handed off. It was good to go. I think there may have already been a combustion engine in it when we got it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I didn't build it from a kit or anything. But you know how it goes with some of these hand-me-downs or whatnot. There was questions in my mind like, okay, what do I have here?
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, it was flying level and doing what it was supposed to. So again, cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to grow into this and be away from the lightning streak that is so small out there that you just get.
Yeah. And a bigger plane there's more stability, right? You notice how stable it is. It stays put.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Now, is that the gray paint or is that gray monocoat or some sort of film?
It is it's actually a powder blue, baby blue paint on it. And then the yellow monocoat for the wings, obviously.
That looks pretty. Those colors look good.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It really stood out, and I think there were about 4 selections before we were able to put our hand up for it. So I was happy it still stayed on the table for us to get a hand on it.
I had one when I was just starting out, And it was a magician because it started as a kit. Then I built it. Then I flew it, and it became a kit again.
Was we kidding?
Keep your eye on that thing.
Funny, 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 funny. That's funny, Mark.
Was we kidding?
Wow, that's great. Well, thank you. All right, well, that's a good report, man. Excellent.
Yep.
Let me see here. I think I have Ed Waski. Hey, Ed, how you doing?
Ed is doing good. How you guys doing, everybody?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yeah, and John Caradas, we gave you for your wife a happy Australian Day the other day.
Yep.
Oh, good on you. Yeah, she's actually
And that,
she's actually otherwise she would have come around the corner, but I got rid of her this morning. I put her on the plane to Australia this morning. So,
and next month or next Monday is your holiday there.
well, we've got one here in Auckland yesterday, Auckland anniversary, and then next week there's Waitangi Day or New Zealand Day or whatever you like to call it. Yeah. When we signed our treaty with Maoris, and there's quite a bit been going on. They had a stunt meeting down in Waikato on the weekend, and then team racing on the Sunday.
Wow.
And it was pretty busy. I didn't fly at all. I went down to help judge if I was needed, but I got there late, so I wasn't needed. So it was a change to be able to just float around the place and watch, which was nice. And what else is new? Oh, that's about it, really. The weather's come right again. It's pretty warm today. It's about 90 degrees, but
Oh,
well, one of the things I was going to bring up, Charles, is I got an article where the local newspaper city here named the Carl Hopkins Youth Aviation Expo one of the 11 events of the year to go to.
oh,
And
fantastic.
stuff. So that's been that's in the paper for everybody to see, and now they've got a voting going on to see what is your favorite one. So I'm going to have to send you guys a link to throw a vote in there.
Wow, yeah, that is very
Good.
cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I talked with the guy that was part of picking the actually it was 11 events, and we were one of them, and he was just very supportive and complimentary on how he just sees it getting bigger and bigger. And so that's the whole idea is
Yeah,
let's get the word out there and get these kids going and to go from there. So I'm already working on this year's event. So more to come in regards to news on that in the near future, because I've got to get some things out there fairly quick. And so
Hey,
yeah.
Ed.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Ed. Have you ever been to Wally's? Wally's
A couple
Squadron?
times.
Have you?
Couple times. Actually, just last year also. And
I've
that,
been there a couple times too.
yeah, it's a pretty nice event. They got really upset with Mark Radcliffe last year because the guy didn't read the information on the event because, well, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, Wally's event and the expo up here in Bridgeport were the same weekend. And we had to explain to the guy that, listen, your event is for RRC to come there and fly. Our event is for kids and to get them introduced to this. And then he was, oh, okay, well, I guess I better read things closer. So, but yeah, it's a big draw.
Yeah.
There and that. So I might pop down there one day this year. I don't know. And that, but yeah.
Hey, Ed.
Sir.
Why do you think the expo was just so popular?
Oh, you.
Thank you. No, I'm about this part of it, but it's really a wonderful event. It really is. It's a great event. A lot of good things going on.
Yeah, and it's all supported. Like I said, it's all supported locally. So pretty fortunate to have the backing there with the companies.
Yep.
And stuff.
Good job,
so,
buddy.
yeah, thank you. thank you for you got all the guys out there, and I'll have to get that link. There's a link that I can just send to you guys, and just all you got to do is click on it and say, yeah, I want to vote for that one.
Okay.
Which is going to help me when I can say, listen, I was part of the, I placed number so and so on the top 11 to pick to come to and what to Bridgeport, and when you're out there asking for money and donations, so it never hurts. You're able to show quantification and numbers coming to the event.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very, very
Hey,
good.
just so you know, I'm working at the VA out of Clarksburg there in your neck of the woods, and
Oh wow.
I've talked to a handful of veterans who have kids, that would be appropriate ages, and I've already played it up for them. So I'm not saying it's going to be massive numbers coming from my side, but again, we had so much fun last year that for some of these vets, I've been talking to them, get their kids out there, enjoy this thing. So,
well, I appreciate that, and you just reminded me of something. I don't have the article with me, but there was another gentleman that just passed away that also helped out the AMA, and he was from the area, and he was part of Carl Hopkins's boys. But years later, I think a decade later, but it's an article talking about how he did in the area of Morgantown, Fairmont, where he gave classes on model aviation and how to build and things. So I know there's got to be people still around that has been part of that. So I'm going to try to see if I can contact any of them.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, all of it works good.
Very good. Making any progress in your shop? Any more progress in your shop?
Well, I was I don't have a little bit. I'll probably have to do it Friday. I got some photos I want to show you, but I don't have my any desks set up. I know how to do it. I just didn't do it this evening, pre-meeting.
No problem.
And that,
no problem.
but I got some stuff that I can show you and that of what I'm doing.
No problem.
So, but yeah, it's just one thing after another.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Let me get to you
appreciate everything.
Let me get to the chat box. I have some comments here. Warriors and Overcomers. Hey guys, hope to one day join you all. Are you a member of the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel? I mean, if you are, that's what you need to do, Warriors and Overcomers. You go to the stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying, and register there using your real first and last name and a valid email address, and then Sparky will approve you. Then you can come in. These guys come in through the link that I provide there. And then Warriors and Overcomers says, I first started flying in the WAM Club in Lodi, California. Flew with Arlie Presler and Lanny Shorts there. Wow. Very, very cool. And I know Lanny Shorts. I don't know if I've ever met Arlie Presler. I've heard the name, but I know Lanny Shorts. I've been trying to get Lanny Shorts to come in. I don't know what's going on. I've been emailing him, but I'm not sure if I'm spam or something. And then Tony B, he says, love the bar workshop. Is that a bar, Brandon?
A sanding bar?
No, he says, love the bar workshop. Is that a bar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we bought this house with a semi-finished basement. It's the bar area and kitchen behind it. And we're not drinkers, and we got these young ones here. So yeah, we don't. It's now the workshop for now.
That's cool though. That's a good surface. It's an L shape.
Yeah, it's got a little bit at the end of an L shape, but yeah, it's just enough room for us to use.
That's cool. You can build some pretty big planes on that. So that's cool.
Yeah, it beats the garage, as most people know, or definitely in Pennsylvania here. It beats the garage where we didn't have good heating out there, so we get out there and can feel your fingers sometimes.
Yeah. And Len Burrell says, good evening, like provided. The Magician is a good plane when it's set up right. So obviously you know that from flying it, and I know that too from flying it. And then Philip Bailey, he gave us a like, so we're all caught up on the chat box. And let me see here. Mark Wise. So what you been up to, Mark?
Hey, buddy. Actually, I have a few things.
All right.
First thing is for Jonathan.
Jonathan
Jonathan, have
Broadus?
you? Yeah, yeah. Have you seen the movie Love Is in the Air?
No.
Okay. I've been watching it. It's kind of a love story tied into aviation, but it's all shot in Australia. Okay. And in the movie, the chief pilot makes a comment that I guess is true, but I've never heard this. And the comment was the first person to fly a controlled airplane in Australia was a guy named Harry Houdini, the magician. Did you know that? In 19,
No.
in
No.
1910, he flew some kind of controlled full-scale airplane. I guess it was like a
Yeah.
Wright Flyer or something in Australia. So
Yeah. When did the date escapes me now? When did the Wright brothers first fly? Powered flight?
um
1903.
yeah, they flew in
Okay.
1903. This was 1910. I didn't even
Okay.
know
'Cause
I didn't know he was an aviator, but
no, I think he did all sorts of things, that Houdini. There was a bit more to him than meets the eye, I gather.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there was a guy in New Zealand called Richard Pearce who people touted for a long time had flown before the Wright brothers. But when they built a full scale and then a scale model and tested it,
yeah,
it was unstable.
yeah.
But it may have leapt off the ground, for a couple of feet. But it wasn't it wasn't what you'd call controlled flight, I'm sure.
Okay. I wanted to do that. I did again. I think this is the second time I've talked about this, but sometimes having too many airplanes kind of stalls you in the shop.
Yeah.
What should I do?
Yeah.
So you won't be able to see this, but
Make it big here.
this is can you see that at all?
Yeah.
All right.
Pure squadron.
This is
So
just
if you look at
wonderful.
the left side has the names of different things. And I was trying to do this from memory, even though I'm 20 steps from the shop. And of course I couldn't. So I just want to give you an idea of what one of your fellow modelers has accumulated. So the first 13 are kits in the box.
Okay.
Okay. Sterling Skylark, Brodak Mobest, Umland Stiletto 660, Pat Johnson Stiletto 660 profile, double size Ringmaster 84-inch, Top Flight Tutor, Umland Sakatumi, two half-A stun planes, a Ring Rat, a B-26, which I may talk about a little bit, custom kit, and something called a PDK 5514, which is just a big old stunt plane with 750 squares and 9 pounds of wood. But that's in the box. Then it's embarrassing. I have a Billy Werwich P-47, a Starfire ready to fly, a Pathfinder that just needs a new fuselage, a Brodak SV-11 Glow, that's 3/4 done, a Brodak SV-11 Electric, about half done, a Nobler with an OS-46 ready to fly, Brodak Cosmic Wind Glow ready to fly, Brodak Flight Streak ready to fly, Cavalier from John Simpson ready to fly with a Aero Tiger 36, two Marksman, two Impacts, and the list goes on, including, and I had to figure out where these are from, 18 Bob Hunt wing halves for anywhere from completely ready to go. Two of them, which I really like, are GeoXL wings with the tail. And and then today I met with my coach, Tom Smeltzer, who knows my stuff better than I do. And we had lunch together and I brought him a copy of this thing. And I said, okay, coach, if you were me, knowing my time is limited, what would you put on the bench to get ready for the flying season? And we came to a pretty good conclusion. Might as well start with some profiles because they're quick. And then somewhere in there, finish one of the full stunners and get the SV11 going. It's kind of fun. The next thing I'll do electric motors and glow. And I actually found one I want to sell. Of all this, I'm willing to get one. Yeah.
Oh, who twisted your arm? Your
Father Time. I figured this I'll be like 111 by the time I'm done with this. And that's unlikely. So it's kind of a fun project, and it really does kind of help you decide, wow,
Yeah.
what can I bring to a swap shop? I'm going to give the Beat 26, which is this gorgeous twin 55-inch scale plane, old style, built up at aluminum spun cowls.
Wow.
And I think Dan Banjock would just love this airplane. And I'm just going to give it to him. I'm just going to give it to him.
That sounds good. You
Yeah.
sound pretty normal. You sound like the average modeler.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ed can relate to it. I'm sure a lot of
I
you
can
guys
relate
can.
to it too.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know Phil
probably
can.
everybody in here can relate to that.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah.
And what makes us half of my
birdie
to flies came from Will Davis, who just, he made a great comment the other day. He said to get people to come to a club meeting, for 2 straight meetings, he could give away glow engines to everyone who comes and still have some left. So it's a funny thing. Back to the more important things. I'm looking for an OS 108 muffler. If any of you guys know of one, please let me know, because it's going to go into my big Ringmaster. And that's just too big a motor not to have a muffler on it. So if you know of any, let me know. Paul Walker.
How big a weight belt are you going to put on to fly this thing?
I'm sorry?
How big a weight belt are you going to put on to fly this thing?
Lead shoes.
You are not a fat boy. You 108 is, oh my gosh, I flew a 90 and I thought my arm was 4 inches longer when I finished.
Well, I spoke to Danny at length about those kind of airplanes, and he said the only thing that'll keep you on the ground is a throttle.
That's true.
So fortunately, I met this nice guy named Ed Waskey. He had a 108 with a carb, and it was brand new. So that's what I'm going to use, and that's one of the things. Second thing, Paul Walker and I are still looking for a couple of tabulators. If you guys know of anybody who's willing to spend, I don't know, about 6 days at Muncie and help determine who the world champion is. There's a training program. You get paid a per diem. It's going to be a great event. I think right now we think there'll be at least 30 countries there. And they'll have to put up with me among other people. Last thing is this, and I'd like to maybe over time develop this with you guys. One of the issues we're having is just the way things are. That
Mark,
yeah,
get in touch with me sometime. My wife is an accountant, and well, she's not an accountant. She has had accounting. She's retired now, but get in touch with me.
That'd be awesome. Thank you, buddy. One of the issues that I'm having with AMA is I think someone's lost the mission of bringing new people into this hobby. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times in my life. I don't see it happening. And at a default, we in Pampa, the board, and then many more people are developing committees and techniques to try to get around the obstacles. And one of them is, if I find someone interested in the hobby that doesn't know anyone in the hobby, I can hook them up with a Pampa member, but where are they going to get everything they need? And what are they willing to pay for? I was up at Brodak. I'm not knocking them at all. I love them. It's just the way prices have gone. I mean, there are profiles up there for $340. And that's just the kit. So it's hard to say to someone, Why don't you start and we'll give you, you need 600 to start. Well, that's a fair amount of money. So what I'm thinking about doing is I've always been convinced that the future of getting people into control line is not about where to find the expensive balsa wood. I think the answer is to design an airplane that is inexpensive, fairly strong, and you could go to a place like Home Depot and get most of the things you want. You know where to get batteries, you know where to get motors, you know where to get props. Those kind of things we're good on. And to take that to a further step, I'd like to find what we may end up calling the Pampa trainer. So we could say to someone, and maybe distribute them to certain members and others to have a Pampa trainer in the trunk of your car. And it could be foam, it could be reinforced with basswood or something simple. Ed has one that was designed by Bob Hunt. I don't think it has any balsa on it, or if it does, it's not much. And maybe
zero.
Charles, maybe this group could, with help from, let's say, a John Miller, design one and maybe have a competition, get something to the winners, give them credit, and get these out to the public.
That's a great
because no one else is doing it.
It's a great idea. You're right.
So
we get the same question down here.
Yeah,
We get the same question down here. We get exactly the same question.
absolutely.
People saying, where do you get this stuff?
Yep.
And yeah, I think it's
and if someone has success, with that, we can go to the next step. But it happened at Triple Tree. It happens everywhere. I go and help kids, as others of you do. The interested parents or the adult comes over and say, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Okay. And you need two things. You need a place where they can get the stuff, and then you need a coach. You need someone who's willing to stay with them, and go through the building, even if it's by Zoom, which may be the worst, but at least it's someone who can talk to them through it. So maybe Charles, you and I and anyone else could help develop this. It's a good cross section of people. We know what the airplane should look like. There's no big secret here. But if you can get a hold of something like this and maybe put it together with either CA or a white glue or whatever it might take, a small electric motor, maybe a 3-cell pack or something. I don't know what it would be. I think we could then go to people and say, look, hobby shops are disappearing, but that's not a problem. Because here's what we got. That's why we're Pampa. And I'm going to talk to AMA about this, but they're just going in a different direction.
That is a good point. Yeah, it's a very good point.
There's the plane.
You make it
Can
big.
you make it big?
Hey, Ed, here you go.
Yeah, there we go. Just foam, a little bit of thin plywood and some basswood for the strength. Total with motor and electrics, I probably spent about $140.
Okay.
And I've got a receiver on it so I can control the throttle.
Yeah.
And that. So it flies nice. And that, but also talking about foamies, here was a $100 RC kit. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then all I did was, instead of making the movable, I filled them in so the surfaces couldn't move, and put a bell crank on it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, here's something that, like I said, this was like $100 for the kit, not including the power pack. And so this is ready to test fly.
Yep.
So, that's just some options or some things that are,
that's
that
a
could
good
be out
idea.
there.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe
I did it because I'm a lousy pilot. And so when something hit the ground, how expensive or how easy is the repair going to be?
Yeah.
And that white one has already gone in on a wing over with me trying to let a kid fly it, where he thought he had to follow, his arm had to follow the airplane as it went up and stuff.
Yeah.
So it went straight in. I changed the prop, I glued the wing and flew it again.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm headed and we're headed, because it's just so easy to say, well, we can't keep this going because of this, and that.
Right.
And I'm not in part of that school.
Yeah.
So I figure I'm going to give this a second term and just see if we can, penetrate that.
Yeah. And I have a trainer that I don't think they're very expensive. The trainer, my friend of mine makes them for me, but it's a foam wing and in the, it's like a plank fuselage, and there is some basswood to strengthen it up. And I don't think it's that expensive to make. I don't know. I usually just ask him to make me one. He made me two, and I have an extra wing. So I have like 3 wings and basically 2 fuselages, and it's held together with rubber bands.
Yeah.
When it crashes,
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
comes
And
apart.
we just have to be smart about it. I've known a couple of people that have been very successful selling high-end kits that they made, like Dennis Gargitz, who started a company called Card and Aircraft. And he was brilliant at making sure that the design, that he got wood of the right dimensions, and he got the smallest box he could to keep the postage costs down. And I think this wouldn't be an ARF. This would have to have a sheet of instructions, and I don't know, an hour build, whatever it takes, to give that instant gratification.
Exactly.
So I'm also going to offer this to through Pampa, but Pampa in itself is not a group that gets together every 2 weeks, every week like we do.
Right.
So I think it would be great if there are some people interested in helping on this. It's one of the things we're going to start when the finance committee gets going and we understand how to get grants. This is one of the things that I think we absolutely have to do, is have this available.
Yeah.
And say to people, we know hobby shops aren't around. We know,
How come I'm not on here?
but we have the answer. We have the answer. So anyway, I've taken a lot of time, but thank you guys.
All right.
Good one, mate. Mark, before you go, I've got a couple of burning questions I've been dying to ask you for ages. What happened to that big triffid you had behind you on the cupboard there? It was starting to crawl down and almost creep along the floor. I was expecting it to wrap its thing, arm around your neck one night. What happened to that?
For me?
That big the pot plant, yeah.
Right now?
Hang on one second, you guys. I'm sorry. Let me just. Hey, Daryl, I see you, man. You're good. I'll get you in a few minutes, man. Can you hear me, Daryl?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, go ahead, Jonathan.
Jonathan, you saying right now this thing?
No, you had a big plant behind you, and I called it the triffid. What happened to that?
Actually, Mrs. Weiss moved some things around thanks to our cat and his curiosity.
Ah,
yeah. Good eye though.
Right.
Good eye.
I don't even know how to.
And the other thing, did you ever get that electric flame going?
No, it's right on the table. I wanted to try it inside first, so I'm just looking for a place where I can try it indoors.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, for what it is, it's a cute little thing.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
it's a lot of fun, but it'll require a bit of fiddling around with.
Yeah.
And my last question, I was watching a rerun of the hillbilly. What do you call it? The old show.
Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah, the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, and you never acted in that, did you? As Mr. Drysdale, the banker. You look remarkably.
Doggies.
Some people say I look like a horse's ass, but I don't think that was the same thing. No, not me.
Mr. Drysdale, I like it.
There you go.
Cool.
I like it, John.
Thanks, John.
I thought that would explain your organizational ability.
Yeah.
Let me get to Stuart. Hey, Stuart. How you doing, Stuart Morrison? What's going on with you? I saw you holding up your Nobler in the background a few minutes ago.
But I was just going to show Mark this too. And I think you might have seen this before. This is an RC plane.
Yeah.
Okay. and it's all made of foam board. So it's like $10 plane. And like you were saying, it's held on by elastics.
Ah,
So, and one thing about this is, if you see this gloss here, that's just shipping tape. And the reason to put it on is if it's wet out at the field, this will help prevent it from damaging the plane.
okay.
So, and it's all electric. So, I mean,
Wow. Is that a
$10.
kit?
No, it's I don't remember the name, but I can find out for you. There's a place on the internet where you can get these plans. So
Okay.
I can
Flight
try
test?
Yeah, is
No.
it flight test?
Flight test have it.
No, like WUVIG.
Oh,
I
really?
Yeah, he's got a
but
bunch of them.
I can try and find out, and I can send it to you or something.
Okay.
That's control line?
No.
Oh, this
No.
isn't control line, but I mean, you can adapt
You can
this.
make it, yeah.
Okay.
So this is a plane. You add a control. It could be adapted, and so it wouldn't be hard. But it's $10 for the plane kind of thing, not including all
Yeah.
the electronics and stuff. But,
Thank you, Stuart.
okay, I'll
Thank you.
try and find that out for you and let you know.
Okay. Thank you, buddy.
So what's going on with you, Stuart?
Oh, not much, just the Nobler, and I'm still working on the little twister a bit. I got the control rods pretty much done, so it's getting there. Other than that, just keep putting away. So
Very good. So what was you doing with the Nobler? I saw that you holding the wing. Is the
Well,
wing glued into the fuselage yet, or it's not glued in yet?
no, you know what, this thing is really solid with I mean, I've got RC planes like this that are held on something very similar to this.
Uh-huh.
I'm just wondering, is there any reason why we can't leave these bolts in and leave it bolted in that way? Has anybody got, I don't know why I couldn't, because it seems really, really stiff. And I would beef it up a little bit where these screws are, but I don't know. I might just want to leave it that way, and then I can always get into it. Then I thought making the pan, or whatever they call it at the bottom here.
Yeah, the wing saddle, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I was even thinking of making it so I can get it off also. So,
I just have no experience. That's why I'm totally silent. I don't know.
yeah, with RC, I've got planes that are held on by wing bolts, and this is
Oh, sure.
almost exactly the same way. Mark would know more about it. But when I feel this, it's like solid. So I think I'm gonna leave it. I'll put a permanent piece of wood in here, and I'm gonna try and make the pan at the bottom removable also.
Yeah, that's easy. Stuart, you may run into an issue of if you want the wing to come off, what happens to the rods going to the tail and going to the ailerons?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'll have to look. I know I was kind of looking. I was trying to figure that out too. So I
Yeah.
don't know. See, but maybe I can't do it. But I just thought, yeah, okay. I kind of think I know what you mean.
But there was a thread on Stunt Hangar where a guy did make his plane removable, the wing,
Yeah.
Nobler ARF. He did that, and if you just maybe search on Stunt Hangar on the forum, you might find it because the guy actually had kind of reinforced where those screws go into. I remember that he reinforced that.
Yeah, I would do that there too, but I could reinforce them, and I even thought of putting an extra one in or something. Depends.
Yes, but see if you can find that thread. It's nice pictures. It explains it pretty well.
Okay, I'll look at that too because I'm gonna get some ideas from it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And then let's see here. And then Jonathan Karadas. I know you spoke a little bit earlier. You're muted, Jonathan.
No, not really much to report other than, as I say, we had that meeting over the weekend, and the weather turned a bit foul on us, but it's come right, the last couple of days.
All right.
Had to bury the old family pet the other day. That
I'm
was a
sorry.
bit of a wrench. Bit of
Sorry.
a wrench after 15 years. Yeah, I didn't like the way the vet was eyeing me up next, so we got out of there pretty quick. But
Sorry.
Gary, I'd like to send a personal message to you, see about getting some gold over to you for that disc for the calendar. I don't know whether you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you. Mhm.
Yep. I'll send a personal message, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll sort that out. Yeah, that's about it really from down this end at the moment. I've spent a lot of time just starting to get back into the Hurricane. Just started to do a little bit of work on that the other day. So Mark will be pleased about that, Mark Gerber. But you'll be disappointed, Mark. I'm not going to use the colour scheme of Sir Park. I'm going to use the grey and green colour scheme. I'll probably find that a little easier to handle the way I do things, so I'll run that way. But it's coming along, just a little bit now, working on it each day.
Very cool.
Good.
Hey, Mike Lonke, how's it going? All right, cool, thanks. And then John Miller. What's happening with you, John? You doing good?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. Wow, this is amazing. Well, I've been working my butt off on getting those plans done for the Trailblazer. I might be able to show them if anybody were mad, if anybody wants to see it. And that's about it. I've been putting in a lot of hours on that. It's amazing how much time it takes to get everything fit, think about how you're going to make things work. And, you know, you're actually building it about a dozen times while you're drawing on it.
All righty, well, let me see here. I think Philip Bailey. Is Philip still here? Hey, Philip. Did you actually go out flying last time? I know we spoke about you going out flying. You're muted, by the way, Philip.
I went out and watched the guys fly.
Oh,
Yeah, after losing my second model in 3 months, I decided I would take it a little easy. But went out and watched them fly and enjoyed that. Just did some launching and retrieving and whatnot. But working on my two. I work on the 11 until I get tired of trying to figure out where this piece went, and then I working on the vector, and then trying to figure out how to draw that one up to make the new pieces, and then trying to finish I'm building. When all this started, I was working on a profile Pathfinder, and I'm still trying to get that finished, but making slow progress, but we're getting there. At least this time of year, I do get a chance to work on this stuff. So it's coming. Everything's coming. It's just I'm trying to get the profile done in time for a contest in May. And then I found out that there's also going to be N30 at that contest. So the SB11 would be a fine candidate for that one. And I'm trying to do some work, making up pieces and bucks and stuff to do a Raid Mustang, but I haven't really got started on that good. Just drawing up the parts and getting everything drawn up and ready to go. Other than that, not much going on here. The weather's been, it's either raining, it's blowing a hoolie, or it's a day that you decide, okay, I'll go with you tomorrow and we'll go shopping or something. That's the day you should have stayed home and worked on the planes. Because it's 60 degrees, 65 degrees, but it feels like 70, and I'm betting I could paint and get away with it. But anyway, one of these days we'll get some things done.
all right. Hey, Sparky, how you doing, Sparky? Thanks for coming in.
All right. Just kind of been busy. I haven't been able to work on models today. Maybe tomorrow.
All right.
Life happens.
Yeah, I know that.
As I thought of a saying the other day, Charles.
Yeah.
Life's all about modeling. The rest is simply waiting.
Yeah,
That's good.
I second that one.
That'll work. That'll definitely work. Let me say hi.
Sparky,
Let me say hi to John Stukalek. Hey, John, thanks for coming in.
Howdy, guys. Good to see everybody.
Good to see you too.
You too, Big John.
Howdy.
Mark, I was impressed with your list. I don't think it's all that unusual for us modelers to have a list that's embarrassingly long and stunning when we look at it and we stop and think about it. But I think the rest of the story, though, is if you're like me, and I'm assuming many of us, if you were to list the things that you need and don't have yet, it's even longer.
Yeah.
John, my wife said to me one day some years ago, she said, "Do you know the difference between needs and wants?" And before I could say anything, she said, "Needs are things, the boring things that I take care of, like food and paying the mortgage and making sure we have health insurance. Those are needs." And I said, "Well, to me, the needs are airplanes, trade shows." It didn't go anywhere.
Well,
my wife and I have had that discussion as well, Mark.
Yeah,
I'm in your camp.
I didn't come out on the winning end of it either.
God bless
We're
our
all
wives
just
that support
kids.
us, that allow us to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Charles, I do, as usual, I do have one technical question for the group, a beginner technical question. I should know this, but how exactly is the nose moment measured on one of our airplanes? I think the tail moment is the hinge line of the flaps to the hinge line of the elevator, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure how the nose moment is measured. And correct me if I'm wrong on the tail moment.
Well, it should be the average. It should be the average. Like if it's a tapered forward trailing edge, you would go halfway in between. I tell you what, let John is the expert on this. What am I trying to answer for? Go for it, John.
And Sparky, too, is the expert on it also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people go from the hinge line to hinge line on the tail moment. And then they go from the leading edge to the back of the prop on the nose moment. Well, that's numbers that you can use, but if you got down to the real thing, you go where the CG is, and forward of the CG is the nose moment. After the CG is the tail moment, because that's your balance point. That's where you got to balance it all out at. So that's the nose has to be long enough to get the power plant and the fuel in the fuel tank in it. If it needs to be in longer, that's because you build a heavy tail end or you want a long tail moment. Go ahead, Sparky.
No, you hit it exactly correct. Most people say it's from the leading edge to the back of the spinner, and that's a good rule of thumb, but it is from the center of gravity to the back of the spinner and from the center of gravity to the trailing edge.
Go ahead, Phil.
And I got that covered, but Sparky, what is the red plane over your left shoulder? Now, you're not going to see it.
Oh, that's the virtual background.
Oh,
it's a virtual background.
Red plane with the checkerboard leading edge.
That's my beam fire. It's a crossfire that was an I-beam.
That is sharp. I don't know why I never saw a picture of that, but I like that.
It's in the, if you got the stunt history book.
I've got it.
I think it's 2012 with me and my dad. I'm holding that airplane.
Okay. That's pretty. I like that.
Hey, Sparky.
Yeah.
Sorry to ask a dumb question. You just said something interesting to me. You said from the back of the spinner to the center of gravity, and then from the center of gravity to the trailing edge.
Are the true moments of inertia? Yes.
So what's that? The one from the center of gravity to the trailing edge. What's that? Is that the tail moment?
The tail
is
moment.
it?
Yeah. Yes.
So that's the trailing edge of the main wing.
No, trailing edge of the stabilizer.
Ah,
not
right.
the elevators. Not the elevators. The stabilizer.
So
That's
we've talked about two different definitions here. When I constantly read on Stunt Hangar and other places, and guys are throwing quote numbers around, you know, I have certain numbers I build to, or what are the numbers of this airplane? Which are they typically using?
They're using from the leading edge to the back of the spinner. That's what they're
Yeah.
using. Everybody uses that.
Okay.
Now they used to do it by the hands. That was the nose moment, and then they would go from the trailing edge of the flap to the leading edge of the stabilizer. That was the tail moment. They used their hand, and it was close, but it's all a guesstimate. You know, that looks about right. Yeah, that's good. Whatever.
Another
If you
thing
want to
that
really get,
perplexes. Sorry,
if
John,
you really
you go.
want to get, okay, if you really want to get technical about it, you can sum the moments. You figure out your weights, get an average weight of from the center from the center of gravity forward. That part fuselage is not. Get an average weight, put it in the middle. Do the same thing on the back end, and you can sum the moments. Find out what you got to move and where you got to move. You can do it mathematically and get pretty darn close. But you got to use the center of gravity. If you use the nose moment, that's basically back what I said. You got to have enough room behind the prop to get the whatever power plant you're putting in there, whether it's a Super Tiger 60 or a Cox 049, and you got to have enough room for the fuel tank. And depending on what you're running, what kind of fuel tank you need. I did that on the Trailblazer. I had set it up for a 5-ounce or 6-ounce RC tank, and that's because it's shorter. But it turns out I couldn't use it on that because the profile just used up too much in the side area, and I couldn't set it in like one. So I had to go to a 5-ounce metal tank. That's longer. I had to lengthen the nose on it to get it to fit in there. So I mean, you got to have certain amount of distance to make everything fit in there. Then you play with it after
wait a minute,
that.
John. The nose moment is dictated by the weight of the airplane. The nose of the airplane only needs to be long enough to balance it. That's the correct way to do it. So if you got a 22-inch tail moment and you got a 6-inch nose moment, it's going to be tail heavy because 80% is behind the center of gravity. So you got to stretch the nose out. And it doesn't matter where the tank lies. You're going to have to stretch the nose to 11, 12 inches with a 22-inch tail moment.
Well, you're absolutely right on that. But you start out with, say you got 3 inches for the motor to the back of the prop. You have to have a little space there between the back of the engine. Let's give it an inch and a half. And then you got say a 6-ounce, depending on what you're running, let's say a 6-ounce tank, which is 6 inches long. And then you need a little room there, probably another inch. So you're running around 9 inches just as a bare minimum.
Notch the wing like I do. Put the tank into the wing like I do.
Right.
The one other thing that perplexes me is some people.
So you're going from the tail.
Hang on, John. Hang on.
Well, you can do that, but you don't have to if there's some.
You got low bandwidth.
There's so many ways.
Whoops. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, John. Sorry. I thought I was going to hear Jonathan Carradas.
Yeah, my question is, when you measure wing surface area square inches, do you count the fuselage width as well, or do you take that out?
I count it.
Yes.
Counted.
I leave it in.
John, you leave it in.
I leave it in because you're going to get lift off the fuselage anyway. So.
Okay. Has anyone ever worked out, when you're talking about the center of gravity and getting the plane to balance around that, like Sparky was talking, has anyone ever worked out a little equation like I see the airplane like sitting on a center of gravity point there on a little wedge, if you like. It's like scales. So you add your engine, your fuel tank, your wheels, and so on at different points along that line, and that has a downward force at that end. And then you add the rest of the bulk of your wing and your tail and your so on and your bits and pieces at the other end. There must be a mathematical formula that you can quickly draw up on a bit of paper where you can get that to balance, like on paper.
I would bet that the guy to ask would be Howard Rush. He probably's done that.
Okay.
I do it too. It's called summing the moments.
I do it like
Some
this.
of the moments, it's
yeah.
I agree, Sparky.
Yeah, that's gonna be right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, now I know what you mean. I missed that. You mean like that?
Yeah.
So looking at it, yeah. She looks right. She is right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, 9 times out of 10, that's correct, isn't it?
Or don't reinvent the wheel. Just build a really good model. You don't need to worry about that. Building a really good model. Let me. I see you're making your way back in here, Darren. Great. I'm glad. And let me first off, you be next. Let me get to Lynn Burrell. Hey, Lynn, how's it going?
It's good to see everybody. Yeah, things are going good here. Lots of buildings still. Working on the planes, getting things happening.
Very
But
good.
yeah, I was listening to what you guys were saying, and the way I sort of figure out the numbers is what I do is I'll take a standard airplane, like we'll say just something that everybody's heard of, like a Pattern Master with a Super Tiger 60. If I take that setup right off the plans, it's going to be very close. Now, if I go to a heavier motor, like say a Rojet 90 or a 76, for me to get it close, something has to change to get those numbers close. I'm never going to get it exact because I don't know what the paint's going to weigh exactly in the covering and the wood combinations and everything else, but I'm trying to get it close so that I'm always close with the airplane. So in other words, if I'm building a 90 ship, I'm going to put the shortest nose on that airplane that I can and get the 5.5 ounces of fuel in to get the pattern in. So I'm going to try and put a 9-inch nose moment on that airplane and then go with a standard like 18-inch tail moment. So I'm going to shorten that nose moment because with a Super Tiger 60, I'm using a 10-inch moment on the nose. So I'm shortening it down because of the extra weight of the motor. So that way I still get it very close and I don't have to put a great big gob of weight in the tail at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So I sort of have a pretty good idea with all these designs. I can sort of look at it and say, oh, I'm gonna have to shorten that nose moment a bit or lengthen that nose moment a bit to get it where I want it so that it's going to be close at the end. My goal is always to have as close to only about 1/4 ounce to adjust at the end. And I usually want to put 1/4 ounce maybe in the tail, not in the nose at the end of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I try.
It kills me when you go to a lot of trouble to build a model and then you got to put a ton of lead on the tail to get the bloody thing to fly.
Yes. I tend to look at designs that have already been built by a lot of people and say, hey, I know darn well that airplane's going to come out close if it's got this weight of a motor in it.
Yeah.
So then if I take a different design, I try to adjust accordingly before I start assembling the airplane. Shorten the nose a little, lengthen the nose a little, whatever I have to do so that at the end of the game, I'm within 1/4 or at worst case, 1/2 ounce.
Yeah.
Very good. Let me see if I can get Darren in here. I know he's been, hey, Darren. Turn your camera back on so everybody can see you. Hey, Darren. Hey, how's it going, Darren?
What's up?
Not too much.
Trying to figure out how to use this.
I know. I appreciate you coming in. It's not tricky. I mean, it's not easy when your first time coming in. This is a friend of mine, Darren Albert, but we don't get a chance to fly very much because he runs his own business and he's very busy. But he flies all kinds of things. What kind of things do you fly, Darren?
control line combat, little stunt stuff, a lot of RC stuff,
Very good.
everything, pretty much everything.
And he's been flying for a long time. His dad used to fly too, so he's one of those lucky individuals who had a dad that got him into the hobby.
Yeah. I think I was 3 years old when he taught me to fly.
Yeah, I remember you telling me the story that the plane lifted you off the ground.
Yeah, it was some sort of a P-51 stunt plane that he bought from somebody, and he told me it didn't lift me off the ground. But later on, somebody that we didn't even know was talking to us about some kid at the park that got lifted off the ground by a stunt plane, and then he figured out it was me.
Very, very good.
Yeah. So hi everybody.
Hey, hi. Yes, we got people from all over. We got people from Canada in here. People from you're not from New Zealand, but you're from where? Jonathan Carradas? Where are you from?
Yeah, New Zealand. Yeah,
New Zealand, Canada.
Marion's from Australia, my wife. And,
oh, cool.
We got a lot of guys that come in on the, they make comments when Sparky's working from Aussie. Quite a few Australians, and you get South Americans and all sorts there. It'd be great to see some of those South American modelers. There's some very, very good modelers down there. And Mark, they're very strong with the kids down there and in France. Very strong with their kids, They have a good succession plan. I don't know what the secret is. I think it's a different kind of... We seem to have got away from making kids in the West. I think some of those other countries are still making kids, and that's what makes the world go round in the end. Anyway, that's another topic.
No problem. And then we got Darren. There's a guy, Mike Lonke here. He's listening to us. He flies combat quite a bit. And now you almost made the combat team 1 year, right? For the world team. Was you almost just very closely almost made the world team in combat?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you, Darren. Yeah.
Yeah. I went over there one time as a mechanic, but I was like the first alternate, like 2004, I think, something like that.
And what country was that?
Spain.
Spain. Okay.
Spain. That was cool.
I bet. And Howard Rush is not in here. I spoke to Howard earlier, but you know Howard Rush, right, Darren?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why he's not here. We actually did a Zoom meeting earlier because Howard's going to do a presentation on the geometry of the control system.
Oh, that's a good guy to tell you that.
Yeah. So stay tuned for Friday. And just so you know, Darren, this is live on YouTube, and the shows are up there on the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel. And so all our shows, well, most of the shows are up there. There are some shows that are member only. So we have a membership. I'm not necessarily just listening to you, but just to explain that not all the shows are public. So we do have a YouTube membership. And when you're a member, you actually get access to those member only videos. But there are a lot of them
cool.
on our YouTube channel.
That's when we get a strike. They give me hassle about some content. If you mention a wrong word somewhere, they send me a letter saying, you got to make this private or, whatever. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we don't have free speech anymore.
No. Has anyone heard about, anyone heard anything from Keith Trossel?
No, I was going to ask Mark Gerber if I know he went flying today, I thought, or recently, but he didn't fly with Keith Trossel. I don't know. But I do have some news. I actually called, I've been meaning to get in touch with Tom Morris for the longest time. I just would forget after trying, and he'd call me back and I wouldn't answer, and I'd call him. He wouldn't be there. So I hooked up with him today. He said, he misses you guys out in the flying circle, his flying buddies and flying friends, but he just, is just having a difficult time, So, but he says he wishes everybody hello and wishes everybody well. And
good guy.
I would guess that Wendy's coming back soon after that video today to get the creative
That was-
juices flowing. Look on Wendy's
It was an
channel.
awesome video. Yeah, it was awesome.
Really? Was he holding an airplane in his hand or what?
He's showing a lot of his airplanes in the Spitfire
Oh, yeah.
room.
No,
I
It was
wrote,
awesome.
I wrote on there, we all miss you. You can come, if Billy can come back, you can too. So
Yeah.
this never gets out of your blood. He'll be back, I'll guarantee it. I just don't know when.
Yeah. Well, he's done that before.
Yeah, I sent him a couple of messages as well. He pretty awesome guy.
Me
Super
too.
Did a lot for me.
I sent him some invoices for the last 6 years. He hasn't paid his dues.
Yeah, that'll get him back.
That would be since
That'll do it.
2012, Mark. Invoices would have to go from 2012 because that's when his last flight was.
Yeah.
Rodak 2012.
Wow.
It was actually 11. It was 2011 was his last flight at Brodak.
Okay.
And so, Darren, we
He
have a
came-
lot of. I'm sorry, Lynn. Forgive me.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Lynn.
No, he came to Brodax in 2012 briefly, but he did not fly. He just
Yeah,
came
that-
for a visit and then he left.
Is that when he turned around and went home once his grandson was born, packed up and went home?
That was the year before. That was
Okay.
2011.
I see. I was amazed at how many concourse awards he's won at the Nats. I learned that on the video today.
Yeah. I think I
Amazing
counted one
finisher.
time like 13. I thought I counted
Yeah.
Amazing finisher. 11.
11. But
Yeah, I think it was 11.
so, Darren, if you have any questions, Darren, we have in our gallery a lot of experienced pilots, experienced builders. You have any questions, Darren?
Nah, not really. I just got to get out there and start flying again. Every time I tell you I'm going to go fly and something comes up, or it's been I don't know, what's it been? Probably a year since I've flown, 6 months, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll get out there. I got a few planes to go fly there.
That'd be great. We're flying Wednesday because it's going to be raining Friday, raining Thursday and Friday. So I think Stuart, myself, Joe Mata will be out there, and Dave Sabon, I think, be out there Wednesday. If you can get away, I know you're busy.
I got a brand new SV11 that Stuart built for me that I got to go. I haven't even started it. Maybe you can help me break it in.
Yeah, I'll help you out. I know you're really super busy.
I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
Hey, thanks, Sparky. Thanks for coming
Take
in.
care,
man.
Sparky.
Thanks, Sparky.
Cheers.
See you,
Yeah,
Spark.
this is cool to you. Cool, Charles.
What
I'm glad
motors?
you-
What motors in your new SV11?
I
Ah, what
think
did I
it's
tell you was in there,
I think
Charles?
it's a Stalker 54 or a Stalker.
No, it's not a stalker. It's the what's the other one? A PA? Is it maybe?
You
So
got
I
a
think
tune
it's
pipe
a-
motor?
I think it's a 70. I got it from
From Randy Smith.
I got it from the guy that designed that plane, Randy Smith.
Yeah, I got it from Randy Smith. I just
Yeah,
remember
what-
the carpet was gold.
Put a
75.
PA 75 and an SV11? Wow.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a 60. I don't know.
65 sounds right.
It could
65
be.
sounds right, but 75
And then
is a lot
I
of
got
power.
that profile Cardinal that I got from a guy in Arizona that's got a Fox 40 on it. That ought to be interesting. I never seen one of those Fox 40s set up for stunt, but he's got it set up for stunt. We'll see how that flies.
Oh, what?
The Fox 40.
It's a Cardinal profile and it has a Fox 40 on it.
If it's a silver Fox 40, it'll run like a watch, a Swiss watch. He built some really great motors. I've got 3 of them. I've run the tar out of them. Tom Looper and I went, I know 4 years we didn't run anything but those motors.
Oh,
And
wow.
they're just super motors.
Oh, that's
We had
cool.
one everything we were running.
It's kind of interesting because whoever built it, it somehow ended up in Arizona. It got built by somebody in Arizona and they moved to Texas and then it came back to Arizona. I mean, it's a neat looking airplane, but
Yeah.
the Fox 40 and they have a little moose can muffler on it. It's kind of it's
Yeah.
interesting. I haven't ran it yet either.
Yeah. I don't, if it's a stock one, I don't know what to tell you, but if it's a Lou Willard, you got a great motor.
Okay, well, me and Charles will check it out.
Moose
What fuel
muffler.
did you
I
run?
made a moose muffler years ago. That brings back memories.
Yeah, we used to use them on RC combat planes, and they worked. It was unbelievable how well they worked for. I mean, they would add 2 or 3 thousand RPM to a Magnum 25, and I've never seen one on a stunt plane, but it's on there, so I'm just gonna run it the way it is. The guy
Okay, I'll
sent me
bite since nobody else will. What is a moose muffler?
it's literally, but yeah, it's literally made out of a aluminum can that they used to like hair moose came in, and you use like a header pipe on it, and then glue or silicone or something to the moose can to you cut out the well, you just cut it open to where it'll fit on the pipe, and then you make some holes on the back end of it. It was cheap, and they work like crazy.
Sounds
Can I ask
neat.
a quick question?
Yeah.
I got to go to bed. I got to get up early. Hey,
All
Len,
right.
you know the two Cox planes I got? The what do you the fabric or whatever you use to hook the elevator and stab together? What do you use
Cloth
there?
hinges,
Sorry, cloth hinge. Yeah.
cloth hinge material. Yes.
Is there? I can't use just some nylon or something, could I? Or I don't have any.
Yeah,
but
you can. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can use like glass cloth or nylon cloth. Sure, it'll work.
okay, that's fine. So would you paint the stab in that first, and then put the
No,
hinge?
no.
Yeah.
Glue the
Okay.
cloth hinge material to the wood with like with white glue, like yellow carpenter's glue or Type
Okay.
Bond, something like that. So you
And then
glue it
paint
all
'em.
together, put 3 or 4 coats of glue on it, sanding between coats. Okay, so that makes it smooth.
Yeah.
And then you paint the whole thing once it's done.
Okay. All right.
Once the airplane's done, then you paint the whole airplane with the cloth hinges already done, like on the elevators. The whole airplane's put together on something like that.
And paint the
Don't
whole
try painting components on a small little airplane like that. Put the whole thing together and paint the whole airplane at once.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Then just hook up
needs
the control. Then just hook up the controls and the motor after.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
This might be heresy here, but I've used I made monocoat hinges. It's so easy, and then you can paint right over them.
I've done that, but if you got a big honking IC motor, you can shatter those.
This is just a little
Yeah, those
Cox plane.
I think
these
it's.
are just-
I think
Oh,
this is a
Cox plane,
smaller
probably,
plane.
right.
Yeah.
Then monocoat would be slick.
Yeah, that would work for sure.
All right. I got to run. Thanks.
A lot less,
Sarah,
a
thanks
lot
for coming
less
in, man.
messy too.
There's your
So stay
Phil.
out of trouble.
Yeah.
Phil, you still there?
Who?
Yeah,
Phil, still there?
yeah, I'm here.
Where are you? I'm trying to find you up top. Anyway, you were talking a couple of weeks ago, just before I can sense that the boss is grabbing the Mario aeroplane there now, but I'll just get it in very quick. Was that a composite development rod you were talking about? The carbon rods that come from down here for model aircraft?
It's called CTS. I don't really know the full name, but what we call them and the name that's on it is CTS, and they are the best rods I've found. I've just built a Euro nymphing rod that's one of their blanks, and I've got a saltwater fly rod that's one of their blanks, and my casting rod to throw up to 6 ounces is one of their blanks, and that's. I've got a rod that costs 3 times what that thing costs. That don't throw near as well as it throws.
You guys talking about
Okay.
okay.
Back to airplanes. Back to airplanes.
I've got one anyway. A trout rod made of it. It's a good rod.
You'll love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
me.
Since you're talking about fishing, let's
No,
talk
no,
about
no,
fishing.
no, no. Yeah, talk about this. Airplanes.
Where did
Model
There you
airplanes.
we've lost some people? Gosh, I've got to leave in a minute myself. But
I gotta
anyway,
go
guys,
too.
yeah, you guys have a great week. Try to stay out of trouble, which I won't manage, but I'll give it my best shot. But it never
All
works.
right.
Uh-oh.
Take care, Philip.
Take care. Have a great
Hey,
week, and
Phil.
we'll talk to you soon. See you
See you,
Friday.
Phil.
See ya.
Yep. Take care.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. And then Jonathan, you leaving too?
Yeah, I gotta hit the road and get a bit of
problem.
tacker on the table. Yep. So I'll catch you guys
See you Friday.
Friday.
All right.
Our Saturday. Your Friday. Yep.
See you Friday. Your
Okay.
Saturday. See you Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All
See
right.
you later, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
Jonathan.
See you
Yeah. So
later.
we do this every Monday and Friday night, Darren.
Cool. Yeah, just let me know, man. Kids are getting ready to go full bore with baseball at the high school, so I'll do it when I can.
I understand. I totally get it. I know you.
I'll
Trust
try
me.
to make it out there Wednesday with you.
That'd be great. That'd be great. I know Stuart would be excited to see you.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You were talking about a little bit of vertigo, and I was telling you I went down on the side of the hill to cut some avocados out of a tree, and I looked up for about 20 seconds, and as soon as I looked level again, I was spinning so much. I haven't dealt with this ever, and for the past 2 or 3 years, it's ever since the bad COVID. I don't know.
I don't know
hadn't
what
flown an
caused my
RC plane
vertigo.
for
I
3
don't know what
years.
caused it, but it fortunately went away almost after a month.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
so
I
it's
think if I just go out and fly, I won't notice it, but it does bother me.
yeah.
So
Just take it easy.
I
Bring
never
out
got dizzy in my life, and the last time I went flying with those guys down in San Diego, man, I literally had to lay on the ground, and I was dizzy, and I never dealt with that. I used to laugh at people like they'd make 3 circles and be dizzy, and I'd go, "The heck." But yeah, I'll get over it.
Yeah, you will. It just takes time, and it's my chiropractor told me that he's have lots of clients who have it. So I don't know what's going on, but he says it's not unusual to see it. But
Well,
it's gone. I'm so happy. But I was going to go to Tucson for the Southwestern Regionals, but I'm not. I haven't flown, and I don't know. I don't know if I really can fly. I haven't tried it. I mean, I haven't tried anything overhead yet.
you could try my airplane on Wednesday. I don't care.
I'm bringing
Try other people's airplane.
I'm bringing some trainers. I'm going to fly those first before I do anybody's plane.
Yeah.
I feel too bad if I just got dizzy, but I believe I'm okay.
Yeah, I think I'll be good too. There's a competition up in Clovis, California, and I was gonna go last year and just couldn't make it. And
This was combat or stunt?
yeah. It's in combat. It's pretty cool. It's in I tried to make Vegas in October and I couldn't do that, and this one's in March. So hopefully, if everything works out, I'll try to make it up there, see some old buddies. But yeah, I'll be down at the field flying, man. We'll get some time in.
That sounds great. It's been a long time coming.
What time will you guys be there Wednesday?
I'm going to shoot for. I got to drop off my kids at high school, so but I'll be there about 9:30.
Oh, okay. Sounds good, buddy. I'll see you
All
down
right.
there. Thanks for inviting me here. I'll see everybody around.
All right, man. Sounds good, man. Thanks for
All right,
coming.
I'm gonna
I
go.
appreciate it.
Yep. See you guys later.
All right, see you, man.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
All right, cool. Where'd Lynn go? Lynn left, but he didn't leave.
Camera's still on.
Yeah, which is good.
So, Charles, I'm curious. You may or may not know the answer to this. I was going to ask Darren, but he left pretty quickly there. I'm always curious to hear from the RC guys. He said he flies a lot of RC, right?
He does everything, and just like Mike Lucky might be able to answer your question. Mike does everything too.
Oh no, it's not that kind of a question. Well, yeah, he may have a perspective on it. I'm just wondering with a guy like Darren, we haven't seen him before, and he's here tonight. Does the fact that the new FAA regulations will be effective, I think, in March, have anything to do with that? Do you know if it's been a hassle for him to do what you have to do to fly RC under these upcoming rules?
Not where I'm at, and I
No.
don't see a whole bunch of guys jumping back into control line because RC is going to be more heavily regulated. Both of the clubs I belong to, RC clubs, we fly control line at both clubs. They allow us to do that. So, and I mean, we've been flying control line at these clubs for 5 years. Every once in a while, I'll get a guy, he says, "Hey, I want to get on the handle," and I'll bring a ringmaster out or something, put them on the handle, and they go, "Oh yeah, that's cool." But as far as them jumping ship from RC because they're afraid they can't fly their RC stuff anymore, haven't seen any of that because both of the clubs I fly at got their FRIA approvals. So we're a FRIA approved flying site. We worked with AMA to get that done at the Coffee County Airfoilers in Tullahoma and at the Columbia RC Modelers down in Columbia, Tennessee. And if you've been keeping up with any of that, AMA recently released a map of all the FRIA approved RC spots in the country. Both my clubs are on those, so we don't have to have transponders or any of that BS. None of the Wi-Fi. We're locked in. It's an approved flying site. So as far as here, nobody's jumping ship and going, "Hey, I got to go get some planes on wires now."
Yeah, right. That makes sense if you're flying in one of those approved areas. It's
Correct.
probably a simple registration, right? With the FAA.
No, it's a blanket. It's under the club.
You don't have to do anything at all, huh?
We don't have to do anything.
Wow. Okay.
No remote ID, none of that stuff. No, it's a
No.
free
Okay.
approved place. So as far as I know, we don't have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And I've been pretty paying attention to most of that. Like I said, we get the occasional guy that says, "Hey, you got something I can try." I had one back in the day. I'd like to put a handle in my hand again, but most of the time they just enjoy watching me and Sam fly combat. We go out and put on a show, and we fly all day long, fly practice matches all day long, and they get a kick out of it. Nobody complains, nobody gripes. It's not the typical thing you hear from most control line guys. They say, "Oh, we're not welcome at our RC club." That has not been our experience here with our two clubs in Tennessee. They've welcomed us, and they let us put circles in, and we go and fly whenever we want.
That's really cool. It's great.
Mark, my Wi-Fi seems to be working better, so I guess I can just tell you. You got the text. If you just send me a center to center measurement, something with a ruler, a picture with a ruler would be great.
Okay.
Because we're going to Perry. Well, it's a month, 4 weeks away. I think it's March 1st, Perry, Georgia, the Southeastern Modelers
Supposed to be a
Conference.
good show. Yeah.
And it's great because all the vendors are there. So anybody who makes model airplane stuff is there. It's a trade show, as well as 3 buildings with 1,000 swap meet tables.
Wow.
Now it's RC, but we always find plenty of doodads and lots of good stuff there.
Well, Mike, I don't think Delaware is out of your way. You could come pick me up.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, man. But as it is, it's a 6.5 hour drive for us because it's 2 hours.
I was just kidding.
Yeah, it's 2 hours south of Atlanta.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do this year, we're actually, I'm going to let Sam skip school on Friday. because the swap meet is Friday and Saturday. Of course, Friday is the best day to go because that's when everything is there.
That's right.
Saturday, everything's kind of picked over, but you do get better deals on Saturday, right? Guys are giving stuff away because they don't want to haul it back home.
Yep.
But provided Sam's grades are good on at that point, I'm going to let him skip school, and we're going to actually go down Thursday, get a hotel room, and then be there 10 a.m. Friday morning so we can
Nice.
go in and
Yeah, it's 14 hours for me. It's just too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Derek's going to meet us down there. Derek goes to that one every once in a
Good.
while. And
Good.
I've run into Randy Smith down there. I've run into Tom Morris there before. Because like I said, this is not your typical small one club RC swap meet, that might have 50 or 75 tables. This is the Southeast Model Show. This is like the Toledo show. Or I know they have a big trade show up in the Northeast too. They got a big one up there, and
Yeah.
um,
Lebanon,
so,
Pennsylvania. Yep.
yeah,
Good going, buddy. I'll get you the info and thank you.
yeah. I'm a box digger, man. We make a preliminary run, try to see what's out there.
Yep.
After that, I go through. Those guys that got boxes underneath their table full of junk.
Yeah.
I will dig through those boxes. I'll spend 30 minutes digging through a box because you never know what you're going to find in there, man. And
Yeah. First thing I do is grab a donut.
Of course.
All right, buddy.
Hey, Howard.
Gotta
Howard came in.
go.
All right. Hey,
Gotta
thanks,
go.
Ed. Thanks for coming in, man.
All right.
We'll
Cheers,
see you
all.
guys. I got to run.
All right. See you, Mark. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
And we have a like from Gordon Jack. Thank you, Gordon Jack. Appreciate that. And Rico's videos. He's a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you for supporting us. He asked, what's the name of Wendy's YouTube channel? Thanks, guys. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. Did I hear he's making a comeback?
Well, there was a video that I haven't seen yet where he's showing his like his Spitfire room, I think, or some of his airplanes. I don't know if it's Spitfire room, but he's showing some of his airplanes. I'm going to look for it.
And the B-25?
I haven't seen the video. I don't know.
I saw a thumbnail today. I will look for it.
Oh, thank you.
I think Tommy Luciano is the one that posted it. But I'll look for that. Give me a second.
Sure.
Before that, though, I want to ask Howard, man. Here's my new airplane for the Nats, man. What do you think? What do you think? Will it do the job?
Well, it depends on what job. Yeah.
No, you can say it. This is an RC plane, man. I was just pulling your leg, man.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Well, no, this is all the rage in control line stunt now, man. The side force generators, man. That's the new thing.
That's not necessarily a bad idea.
I don't know how they would work. All I know is on a 3D RC plane, they help you doing knife edges. They give you, airfoil going this way. That's why they all got huge, giant rudders on them too.
I put some on an F2D airplane once to.
Did you?
To fly 80-mile-an-hour combat with.
What was the result?
It didn't slow it down enough to go 80.
Oh, okay. All right.
Even on 60-foot lines.
I'm gonna look for Tommy's post. I'll see what he said. Oh, y'all chat. It's gonna take me a second.
All right. Hey, Howard, long time no see, huh?
Yeah. How you been?
Been well. I thought I'd change up a little bit. You see, you probably see my tires change a little bit.
Yeah, and I put on a sweater. It's cooling down.
Yeah.
Howard, this may be too nosy of a question, but I'm curious about those sticky notes on the cupboard doors behind you.
Oh, well, that's they say what's in the cupboards, and I did that so I could get organized and keep track of what's in where, and then take them down. But they've been there for years because I never did get organized.
Well, they're probably helpful, right?
Well, yeah. I pretty much know what's there though now.
Oh,
So I guess I don't need them.
yeah. Just curious.
Yeah, and nobody else comes in here, so so
that's a good idea.
They don't need to be embarrassed to have them there.
No.
Right. No one's going to sneak up on you and go, what is that?
Yeah. I hadn't thought of this intrusion. Oh, somebody's running an engine. That's not me.
No, I pulled up Tommy's YouTube channel. I'm trying to find his stuff.
So, Lynn, you remember what Wendy Yanowski's channel is, where the new video is?
Just look under. I just
think
googled
it's-
Spitfire. I just googled Wendy Yanowski Spitfire bedroom, and it'll come up.
Yeah, it'll come up if you do that. It's worth watching. It's really good.
It's a really good video. He did a great,
It's not
great
long.
job of it.
I think it was only 17 minutes or something. So it's very good.
Wow, I'm going to watch it.
Did he say something about coming back to flying in that?
No, he explained
He
why
said a
he
lot of
left.
people have asked him. He said a lot of people he said a lot of people have asked him, but he didn't give any indication that he would.
I got you. So this is still this is just a tour of his stuff.
Yeah, he's just showing the Spitfire bedroom and talking about it and talking about his history and control line and when he left and his grandson and stuff like that.
I got you. Yeah, I see here Sparky commented, we're still waiting for a comeback. If Billy can do it, you can do it
Sparky
too.
predicted earlier that this was an indication that he'll be coming back. Sparky
Yeah.
said that tonight. Yeah, that was his prediction.
Maybe he's getting burned out on motorcycles.
I would be very surprised. I mean, Wendy's got to be, I would think, I'm just guessing here, but I'd say I figure he's 78 years old.
Yeah, I think that's all right.
He's
That's
riding
the old-
motorcycles, so
But I wouldn't put it past Wendy. It's like I said to him, I sent him a message today and I said, I've never met a guy who has more energy than you do. I mean, he was when we went down there and visited him, that was in 2016. He was like a little kid. He had so much energy. I was just shocked.
wow.
More energy than I do. And I got a lot of energy.
78.
He'd eat
That's
more
too old
pizza,
to
I
fly
guess.
in stunt.
Might eat
Sorry,
more-
Howard?
That's too old to be flying stunt.
No, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't say that. Never too old if you want to do it. It's just whatever you want to do. I mean, there's people doing it. I mean, look at John DeTavio. He was flying stunt at 92.
Yeah.
And Wesley
Never
Dick,
too old.
90, 91,
Yeah,
right? Right,
exactly.
right, Dennis? Hey,
That's
Dennis,
right.
thanks for coming in.
Dennis? Hopefully none of us ever get too old to want to do it.
No, I won't be 78 until March.
So March, you'll be 78?
Yeah.
Wow, you look great, Howard.
Thank you.
Howard doesn't
I
look a day
gotta-
over 58.
I got a filter I put on.
Well, send me that app so I can look a little better.
Yeah. Yeah, send me a rendition while you're at it. Howard, you don't look a day over 58.
No. Thank you, I guess.
You're welcome. Control line keeps all of us young.
I think so because people think I look younger than 66, and I go, I fly airplanes and I have a young wife.
There you go.
So what you been up to, Dennis? Oh, I can't hear you. I lower your boom.
I hear you. Muted.
Oh, not all that much really. We had another busy night running kids around and basketball game and all that. Actually finally got squeezed in a few minutes to work on my VSC airplane. So
What model is that you're going to take the VSC?
lately I'm working on a Gypsy. I think that'll be the one I do. I think it'll be the easiest one to finish. So
I like the Gypsy. I never flown one, but I like how they look.
mm.
They remind
Yeah,
me
it's a
of
good looking bird, and they tend to fly pretty well and all that. I'll be walking in with a brand new airplane and everything like that. So hopefully it's not too far. So
What are you going to use for power in your Gypsy?
probably be a duplicate of what I have in the Mobest. You know, it'll be a 28-26 motor, 11.6 badass prop and Castle ESC stuff like that. What I'm liking about it is that it looks like it could turn out pretty light. I'm looking at it, it should end up right around 50 ounces, which with 650 squares stuff with good power. That's not that should be a pretty happy airplane. So
How will you finish it, Denny? In what?
the usual. I'm going to try to duplicate. Jim had 1967. He had a Gypsy that was done in kind of a medium blue with dark blue and white flashes on the wing and tail. It was a very short-lived airplane. He ended up crashing it in Detroit that year, and discovered, it was rumored to be rumored to have one of those brand new things called a styrofoam wing in it. Nobody knew what it looked like until after he crashed. So, actually, what I remember about it is that the wing was made out of blue foam, not popcorn, but the homogenized blue foam. And it was, Jim was a fantastic builder, and the airplane was exquisitely built and everything like that. But first generation of the wing and everything, it was a little heavy, and he actually crashed it flying. He missed the wind badly, and ended up crashing it. But any rate, and because it didn't last very long or anything like that, it's not very terribly well known. Let's see if I can find a picture of it and post it here. I think I got one. Yeah.
Oh, great. You must have a picture if you're going to replicate that finish.
Yeah. It's not a real, involved scheme or anything like that. Let me go looking for it. I'll be back in a bit here.
Okay. Thank you.
Joe Gilbert used to fly a Gypsy at Brodax quite regularly in Classic, and him and I talked about it at length one year, and he convinced me that I should buy a kit, and I've still got the kit down in the basement. I have a motor for it. I just haven't put it together, and I should. I really should put it together, because watching Joe fly it, I mean, it was a fantastic flying airplane. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with it for a very good classic airplane, because it's more of a modern type airplane size wise and everything else. So I think it's probably going to be very competitive, Dennis.
Yeah. I've seen Lanny Short's Gypsy. He's been campaigning that for some time. Actually, he has two of them. He has a red one and a blue one, I think. And he does well.
I recall, didn't Lanny have it in both gas and electric too?
I only saw the electric one.
Okay. I thought he had one in gas before. I think he thought he had them both at the same time, actually, one year. but they brought them into nationals, I think, in was it 2016 or so when I was CED.
So I bought the electric conversion for my Gypsy tube, Denny.
All right. Good work.
Yeah.
So Denny, will you finish in dope or auto paint, or how will you finish it?
It's gonna be done in Monocoat.
Monocoat, okay.
Yeah, I don't have any painting equipment, and it's what is it? Well, it's pretty warm today. We got up almost 40 degrees today, but it's just so hard to paint in the wintertime, and
yeah.
And I refuse to do any painting indoors or anything like that. So makes it kind of rugged. And besides, the Monocoat is you can depend on it being a pretty light finish and pretty durable. Most contests around here, at least, they don't even bother giving appearance points. So certainly not for
you don't have to worry about fuel either.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to worry about fuel leaking or anything like that, which is a nice thing anyway. But I don't know.
Do you actually use Monocoat, or do you use Ultra Coat or any other film?
No, this is still Monocoat.
All right.
So, oh boy, let's see. I know where it'll be. Yeah, don't wait for me here. I'm going to be off on the side here looking for pictures, but I'm not sure exactly where it's at.
No problem. So, Mike, do you have a name for Rico's videos on Wendy's channel?
It's on Wendy's channel. It's the one that that Len was talking about.
I mean, what's the name of Wendy's channel? What is,
Oh, sorry. Let me find it again. Just Wendy Urtanowski.
Yeah. There you go, Rico's videos, Wendy Urtanowski.
Yeah, it's just Wendy Urtanowski. That's it. Just type his name in the search bar on YouTube, and it's actually the first video that comes up. Yeah, because he just posted it 15 hours ago. So
yeah.
I didn't realize that was a new posting. I thought Wendy had stopped making videos too. So
no, he's still making bike videos.
Yeah.
He says Wendy's Spitfire bedroom now over 25 years old. Has some very nostalgic things on display, including models designed and built by Wendy during his lifetime of modeling. Also, the untold till now story of my retirement and how I spent the last 12 years. So he fills everybody in on what he's been doing the last 12 years.
Okay.
Hey, Denny, you still needing line reels?
Yeah, always.
Okay. Well, we got the printer up and running again, and I'm still having a few issues with it, but I have some that have some blemishes on them, so they're not like perfect. But till I get it tweaked out, I'm just kind of putting those aside. They're still totally usable. They're just
yeah.
They got a little bit they got a little flashing on them that needs to be trimmed off and whatnot. So
yeah, I got that big bunch from you last year, down at the Nats and stuff. A lot of those reels had been modified in some way or other and had, big holes cut in them and stuff like that. Most of them are usable and stuff, but I'm way behind on making lines for people. And so I've got a handful here. What I really got to do is I need to get a bunch of steel clips for them. So Rodak has the clips and I haven't got around to that yet, but I'll be getting those pretty soon.
Okay.
Line rails aren't cheap anymore now.
No, they're not.
Well, when I bought some from Control Line Parts from Ukraine, I think they were like $4 a piece. That was probably
those are actually pretty good ones because they're pretty stout, and the plastic isn't that crap injection molded plastic that the Sig reels and Sullivan and pylon
Okay.
reels where they get brittle and break over time.
Yeah.
The F2D ones, which are the Russian, Ukraine ones, control line part cells, they're pretty stout and they seem to be made of a little bit better plastic. The 3D printed ones are pretty good out of the PLA because they're pretty thick and they're pretty stout. You know, the downside is you got to print it in two pieces and you got to
Then
glue
glue
it
them together. Yeah. Yeah.
But I haven't had one come apart before. And, you know, when I first started doing this, somebody said I was going to have problems with the PLA melting in the sun. You know, the reels were going to get soft on a hot, humid day. But we used them all last year
No
at
problem,
Muncie, Kansas, Florida. We had them all over the place, and I never had one deteriorate. So
Beautiful.
that's what we're printing right here.
Big. That looks good. Let me make it big here.
They're perfect. That's awesome. Good stuff, Mike. Well done. Wow.
Even says F2 on it.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? Good stuff. So you and Sam did that? Were you guys working on that together? I thought I saw you guys working on that little project together.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
for
When he
you.
got his printer last year, we zapped off, I don't know, 20 or 25 of them or something like that.
That is
And then I had a little trouble with my printer. And I gave it to Ryan Taylor, Paul Taylor's son. I drove it down to his place. And when Paul was here over Christmas, or actually it wasn't even Christmas, it was like 2 weeks ago. Paul was up to visit his grandson and his son, and they were here for like 2 weeks, and Paul got bored, so he went down and took a look at the printer, and he figured out we had a couple of loose bolts on it, so the head was a little wobbly. That's why we couldn't get it to level. Anyway, Paul straightened me out, got us running again. So I actually set the printer up in my bedroom, and I just go in there and hit the button, and I'm just cranking out line reels, man, just trying to do, you know.
That is awesome. Good for you. Wow.
Busting a bunch of them out. But they're, there's a little flash on them when they get near the end, and I'm not quite sure what's going on there because we never had that issue before. But like I said, they're perfectly usable. You just got to take a little X-Acto knife and trim the flash. But they're not as clean as the last batch that we printed. And then this is the small one too. This is just a standard, but we got one that's 5-inch reel as well.
Good job.
And I still have to test out. Howard sent me a file, a modified file. He took this same one and modified it, but I haven't printed it yet. You still here, Howard?
I'm well, just almost. I made some. I got a little mod there that
I like that.
Yeah.
Wider slot, and
that way the line is kind of not kinked.
Got my name on it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, so the file you sent me, they're all going to say Rush?
No.
Oh, okay.
I
that would be cool.
Well, line key won't fit.
Yeah, I know. No, I want Rush.
Sam would fit.
Sam would fit. No, I want Rush because I'm gonna have you sign them at the Nats this year, and then I can sell them for twice as much.
Oh,
Howard Rush liner.
Good stuff. Yeah, Howard, you're a legend. You know that, eh?
Oh yeah.
You're a legend in control line.
Yeah.
Keep telling you. You keep forgetting, and I keep telling you that you're a legend.
Howard, do you know Raddick?
I met him.
Ram.
I should know him because he was my teammate, right? He was.
Yeah, he goes by Ram.
Oh, he's Ram.
Ram. Yeah, Raddick. He's one of the Miami Russians.
Yeah.
I just got a message from him this morning. He's moving to Tennessee.
Oh.
He's going to be about an hour and a half away from us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's closing on his house in March, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm moving to Tennessee. You think we can fly some combat together?" I was like, "Hell yeah."
Oh, yeah. That'll be good.
You got that picture, Dennis?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
So you know how I met Raddick? He was the stolen airplane guy. He's the one who had 18 brand new combat airplanes stolen off his porch.
Oh,
And then they ended up on an auction site in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And Dave Morris found them and called me. And somehow Andy Miner got involved and they figured out they were Raddick's airplanes. He ordered 18 brand new airplanes for the Moldovan ones, right?
Yeah.
And they got stolen and they showed up on this auction site and Dave Morris won the auction for $25.
For 18 airplanes?
18 airplanes. It was on a farm auction site, like this clearinghouse
geez.
right in Chattanooga. So since I was the closest, I drove to Chattanooga after Dave won the auction, picked the airplanes up, brought them back here to my place. And then when Raddick and his son were on the way to the Nats 3 years ago, they stopped here in Nashville and overnighted with us. We put him up, let him spend the night because he lives in Miami. So, you know, Miami to Muncie's a long way. So they drove here, overnighted, and then I gave him his airplanes back. That's how I met Raddick.
Awesome.
That's how I was introduced to him.
That's wild.
Speaking of line reels, do you have the file for this this thing?
I don't. Does that fit this one? Does that fit this one?
Yeah, I think so.
The standard, the one from Thingiverse?
I don't know.
That's where we got this one off Thingiverse.
What's the inside diameter of that?
Hang on a second. $955.
Oh, yeah.
$850.
850. Yeah, that's still a little snug, maybe.
$855.
Okay. Well, I'll send you the file and
yeah, I can shrink it if I
you
need
can
to.
shrink it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I use a piece of PVC pipe, the not the 1/2 inch, I think it's a 3/4 inch.
That's too easy.
I just put a end cap on it.
You got to print them.
Why?
Yeah.
Because we got a printer.
Yeah, I know, but
Hey, Charles, who do you find to print your 8-foot long pieces of PVC pipe? Who prints that for you?
Charlotte, somebody.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, Charlotte Pipes. Yes.
Robbie Hunt was here, and Robbie Hunt was here, and we were installing pipe in Circle 1 for the irrigation system. He saw the Charlotte pipe and said, "Oh, Muffy pipe." That's a Rudner joke.
Well, you know, it's 9:02. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. And
yeah, jokes are getting kind of inside now.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. And please, if you can, hit the like button, smash the like button. It won't cost you anything to do that. And
you
we'll be back Friday.
Stop by Friday for a really boring program.
No, really good program. We got to announce this geometric program about the geometry of control systems. And till then, fair winds.